Hello guys, Aaron Kubitz, personal trainer at Functional Aesthetics CC, where we're helping average guys move better in their life inside and outside the gym. So as important as exercise and the actual workout is, it's also very important to do mobility routines, especially if you've been laid off from working out for a while, or if you've been sitting around prior to doing the exercise. So while static stretching is still good, and I think that you should be doing it, mobility exercise, I think, is actually better to do before actual workouts or first thing when you get up in the morning, you're kind of stiff and stuff like that, because it helps you to gradually get the muscles woke up and ready to go. So you can even do your mobility exercises by doing the same exercises that you're going to be doing in the actual workout, just doing it with lighter weights and really focusing on doing the complete range of motion, pausing at the bottoms of the repetitions, spending more time under tension, things like that, to just help warm up the joints, help warm up the muscles. And in this routine that I'll be showing today, it's a good thing that I sometimes like to do when I first get up in the morning, when you're kind of stiff, when you just kind of wake your body up and get things flowing to help get you off to a start a little bit quicker than you normally would, especially on a weekend if you're not feeling all that motivated about getting yard chores done, work around the house, or any sort of jobs or activities that you might be doing on the weekend, and you kind of want to just lazy your way into the Saturday morning or something like that, instead of getting up, hitting the ground running, and doing stuff for yourself, whereas all week you've been doing your job and things like that. So without further ado, we'll get into the mobility routines that I have selected for today. Hopefully you enjoy these, and we'll see you on the flip side. So one of the first things that I often like to do first thing when I get up is to do some variation of a shoulder mobility. Because it doesn't require, like sometimes in the hips and stuff like that, you got to bend down, you got to do all these kind of things, and you just don't feel quite ready for that. But most of the time, getting oxygen into your lungs, rotating your shoulders around, can help you feel more energized right away. And also, if you're going to be doing push-ups or something like that, and if you're like me and you have old shoulder injuries, sometimes when you get up in the morning, they're more stiff, and so by doing those mobility exercises, it helps to reduce the chances of re-injuring the joint or injuring the joint, period, by taking that extra time. In fact, the reason why I injured my joints was because of not taking the time to properly warm up, also coupled with some stress I was dealing with in my life at the time. So definitely worth it to take your time getting into the workout, and if that means that you do a little less actual working out, so be it. It will actually save you a lot more time when you don't have to take off a month or several months because you actually can't work out at all. So one of the things I like to do is you start out with deep breath, and you're going to roll your shoulders down and back. So the side goes like this, come out to the side, and you want to try to squeeze the shoulder blades together while you're doing this. So then from there, one thing that I'll often do is take the heel of my hand, pointing up towards the ceiling, breathe in, cross the opposite leg over the front of the leg that I'm on the side that I'm stretching, stretch up toward the sky. It stretches out all the intercostal muscles in between your ribs, stretches out your lats, a little bit in the rotator cuff as well. Do the opposite side. And you want to really focus on kind of holding your breath, because it'll increase that pressure and increase that stretch. Let it out at the top and come back down. And then you can also come up, palms up. And then one thing that I like to do is also kind of a version of like this wall slide that you can do for your posture, is I'll start off with the hands like this, come back, almost like you're gonna flex or something, but with your arms a little lower than you would. So, and then from there, again, contracting your muscles, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then push your arms up. Just like that. And then sometimes I'll start this with a scooping breath. And the breathing just helps to kind of wake your body up, energize yourself, because getting oxygen into the lungs helps to create that energy, and just get, more, because when you get an oxygen in there and stuff, obviously if you're not getting enough oxygen, in extreme cases you'll fall asleep. So by getting more oxygen in, obviously it helps you wake up, get more energized. So another thing that I'll do sometimes is just the scooping breaths. Slight bend in the knees. I want to breathe in, really stretch up towards the ceiling, and then breathe it down. Focus on breathing in all the way through your pelvic floor, all the way up in through your eyeballs, and then breathe that back down again. And then to follow that one up, oftentimes I'll do one where I reach out. So I'll breathe in, sit back like I'm doing a squat, and then from there, pushing out. And there's innumerable different variations that you can do. These are just a couple examples of what you can do. So now that you kind of got yourself loosened up and warmed up, another great mobility tool is a broomstick. So you take the broomstick, taking a deep breath, go back, exhale, and every time you go back, you want to just pause for a second, feel that stretch while you're holding your breath, and then exhale to relieve the tension. So I'll do it, slow the first rep, and then in a real time how you'd actually do it on the subsequent reps. So you go back, holding it, and then just real time. Now the idea is to try to go back a little bit further on each rep. And that's okay if you're tight and you can't go back any further. That's why we do these exercises frequently, so that the body can adapt over time. Now after you've done that, you can also do it to the side, do a lateral one, right? And the idea is you want to really swing that arm out and push the rib cage up towards the ceiling, right? So breathing in, breathing in, back to the middle. Just like that. Now after you've done that, you can also do overhead squat down with it behind your back. After you've done a few of those, do behind the neck presses. And then I'll set this aside for a second. Another thing you can do is you reach down, touch your toes. And then sometimes after that, I like to follow that up with standing kind of a, what you call a fighting stance for like martial arts, right? So essentially having your feet almost at like an L shape. And then, so front foot is pointing more perpendicular. This one is horizontal out here. You're gonna come in, bring your hands like this, breathe in. Bring it back down. And you wanna really bring that hand down like you're trying to cup the air, right? Come back up here, so breathing in, and then exhale out over the top of your head. And that actually serves the dual purpose, so that if you're actually fighting or something like that, right, you could be blocking something this way, while at the same time, if somebody's trying to take this broomstick and whack you over the head with it, you're blocking from this side as well. So you can either block, grab the broomstick, kick, whatever it is and stuff like that, but that's beyond the scope of this video. So then, from there, after I do this walkout thing, do this thing, then you could get into a little bit of hip mobility, right? So you're gonna squat down and go in time with your breathing, right? So breathe in on the way down, pause, come back up. Just very rhythmic, timed out. It'll help you get nice and warmed up. Then from there, you can do a little bit of side-to-side mobility, right? So you're gonna take a deep breath in, and now when you're doing your side lunge, you want to focus on sitting back into it, right? So you're gonna go to the side, and then after you've completed the reps on one side, so you're on the one side, right, and go, then if you really want to work on that hip mobility, you can go, and then without coming back up, slide across like this, come up, go across, just like so. Now after you've got your hips all limbered up like that, you could do a little bit more dynamic stuff where you go duck under, come back up, duck under, almost like a boxer. If you're feeling really energetic, you can come up on one side, right? When you start feeling a little bit fatigued, take a moment in between to get that oxygen back in. Really help to expand that rib cage. Help to recover that oxygen depth that you might have got into, and then get back into it, right? So then one of my favorite hip mobility drills is where you go, it's over-unders, right? So you go like you're stepping over a fence, like a low wall or a fence, right? So you're stepping over with the other foot, and then right on the other side, there's like a low bar that you have to step under, right? So it's over, and then under, and you have to kind of scooch sideways, right, to get both feet under, and then stand back up, and then go back under, over, and by the time you've done all this, or even half of this, you're probably woken up, energized, and ready to get going for the day. But a lot of this was lower body mobility, so sometimes if your back is ever kind of, kinked up or whatever, or stiff in the morning, this thing right here is great for breaking up that tension. And I've showed this in other videos. It's a very common exercise to do, but you just put that foam roller about middle of your back, put your hands behind your head, lift your butt up off the floor to keep a neutral hip position, bring your ribs down towards your belly button, keep your neck in a neutral position, and just roll back and forth. Do that 4 or 5 times, pop out all the kinks, and then after you're done, you can kind of relax. Deep breaths through the belly, completely relax your neck. And then curl yourself back up. Alright guys, so that sums it up for today's morning mobility routine, or mobility routine anytime you feel a little bit stiff or sluggish or anything like that. You've been sitting in a long car ride. Obviously you don't have to do the whole routine. This video is probably over 10 minutes long, so we don't all have maybe 10 minutes to go do this stuff in the morning. Sometimes you got to get moving a little bit quicker, but you can definitely get some benefits by doing any of these type of movements, even if it's just doing some breathing or something first thing when you get up. Do a little bit of stretch side to side. Anything is better than nothing and will help to increase the clarity of your mind, help reduce the risk of getting injured, slipping on the ice, especially in the wintertime like it is here in Wisconsin, and stuff like that. So if you'd like to see more content like this related to workout ideas, rehab, so preventing, how to work around injuries, how to prevent injuries, improve your posture, mobility drills like this, advice on nutrition, how to build muscle, lose fat, increase athletic performance, things of that nature. If you like any of that, then consider subscribing to the channel by hitting that subscribe button in the lower right hand corner of your screen, and hit the like button if you like the content in this video. Again guys, this is Aaron Kubitz, personal trainer at Functional Aesthetics CC. We're helping average guys move better in their lives inside and outside the gym. See you guys later.